This is Mr. Entertainer. Today I would like to talk to you about The Patient. It's a series that I've been putting on YouTube for 5 years now, and I'm rather proud of this series, and I even like to think of it as the flagship series for Mr. Entertainer Productions. And today I would like to talk to you about the making of The Patient, including the origin of this series, and how it came to be, and how I typically do a episode of this series. But first, I want to ask a few questions that some of you may be asking. The Patient came about, I think it dates back to my early childhood when I started having surgery. Because when I was born, I had a hole in the roof of my mouth, and that was probably my earliest surgeries. And then I was fascinated by the black mask that went over my face right before they put me to sleep. So that kind of sparked something, even for a young age, at like 1 or 2. And I've been fascinated by medical shows, including Emergency and Rescue 911, ER, House, and all that. And I kind of grew up with that kind of fascination. And I became fascinated with medical equipment, too. All kinds of medical equipment. And at some point, I started collecting all kinds of medical equipment, like my spine board, which you've seen in some patient episode, or this anesthesia mask here, and lots of other oxygen supplies. So I decided to do a series based on the stuff I collected, and as a way of showing it off. But that was the original concept behind it. But I wanted to take it a little bit farther. I wanted to tell a story with the stuff I've got. The Patient is a kind of series. I'm not sure how to pigeonhole it in any way, but it's a fetish series, but then again, it's not fetish. It's not a mindless kind of fetish that kind of just arouse people and nothing else. I mean, you know, like your Biomed 911 and your Bizarre Med videos. Unlike those, The Patient is more like a medical thriller that tells a story that kind of scare people, shock people, and make them think and talk. But not only that, it also respects the people's intelligence to figure out what's going on with the patient, and I try not to reveal too much of the plot, and has kind of a mystique behind it, sort of like the X-Files, kind of. But at the same time, there's a little bit of a Stanley Kubrick and Quentin Tarantino influences behind The Patient also. So that's kind of well, in a nutshell, it's basically a dark fetish medical thriller. That's probably what I would call it. Well, what I want people to get out of the Patient is I just want to tell a story, but at the same time show off my medical stuff. But most importantly, I want to make people think. I want to scare the heck out of them maybe a little. But I just want to do a real thriller with a little bit of a dark humor in it. But I try to keep the corny stuff out of it as much as possible. But I don't know. Sometimes the humor just cannot get out of it completely. But it does have a lot of dark humor in it. One of the many elements of The Patient is the sound effects. First of all, in the opening title, you should notice that there are some sounds with my voice when I'm saying all kinds of stuff, like ooh, ooh, make it stop, ooh, or a lot of the shop talk like a nurse would say. And also, you would hear the sound of Velcro, otherwise known as hook and loop type of effect. And then the sound of a blood pressure cuff. Whoops, got to turn this around here. Blood pressure cuff. And finally, the sound of my old trusty accordion. Every accordion has like a button release, button on it that releases the air out of the bellows when you whoops. for that convincing automatic ventilator sound. And I think this is how Weird Al Yankovic did the sound effects for his Mr. Frump and the Iron Lung song. And Mr. Frump would say, in case you were wondering. But that's not all that makes up the patient. Oh yeah, and one more sound effect is the squirting of a sports bottle against this steel pan here that I used for the episode Enema. Okay, now let it out. Well, unfortunately, I don't have a functional sports bottle and they're all leaking. So anyway, I could demonstrate that sound effect for you. And sounds are just one thing it's just one element that make up the patient. And pretty soon, I want to take you into my bedroom here and show you how I make an episode. Come along with me, will you? Okay, this is where all the magic happens. This is my bedroom. Well, as you can hear, there's some fireworks going on outside because it's the 4th of July right now. But since I wanted to do a video without any dialogue in it, I'm not concerned about any outside noises going on. So I can just shoot my video here in peace. Alright, I'm going to take you on a tour of some of the stuff I use in my videos. Right here I've got my trusty old Iverio camcorder with a hard drive in it. I've had this camera for almost 5.5 years. It's a really good camera. And I've shot all of my patient videos with this baby. And over here I got what you might call a storyboard, where I plan out all the shots, like the titles and what I want to appear in each shot and things like that. Kind of like what they do in Hollywood. And sometimes I like to lay out some of the costumes and or props that I'm using for the current patient videos that I'm shooting. And back here we got the infamous backboard from one of the earlier patient videos. I've strapped myself to this baby tons of times and I kind of like playing with it. Why? I don't know. If you have to ask, you will not understand. Okay. And this is my grandmother's old pole lamp, which I use for lighting. I used to have incandescent bulbs in there, but I got some fluorescent in there right now. There's actually two lights in here, but I really only use one for the patient video because I kind of want to subdue the lighting a little bit to create the mood and the ambiance of the series. Things like that. So in a few moments you will see some behind the scenes stuff that I do while I'm shooting the videos. Oh, and I gotta show you one more thing. I got a drawers full of all kinds of medical equipment in my my brown drawer here. This is a separate drawer from what I use for my clothes. Alright, in here's my oxygen stuff mostly. Like the anesthesia equipment, like the anesthesia circuit you saw in that one episode where I spit out the fake blood. Nasal cannula, however you pronounce it. And got all kinds of other stuff here. Possibly enough to stock a small emergency room. And check this baby out. This is a 1943 resuscitator mask, like they used in the 40s. I bought this baby off of eBay. Kinda has an awesome smell to it. Wouldn't you agree? Okay, never mind. And then, in the other drawers, I've got bandages. Tons and tons of bandages. And this package here, I got the resuscitator. Of course, you've seen this baby in some of my patient videos also. And lastly, oops, that's just my t-shirts and things like that. And these are costumes from my Sister Dude Guy videos too. And I guess that's it. Alright, and here is how I do a point of view shot from basically this is what the patient would see if he was conscious and things like that. I'm going to point the camcorder toward the ceiling at first. Whoops. It would also help if I open the lens cap too. Whoops, out of focus. Oh, here we go. We got the ceiling. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. And right now I'm going to show you how to do how I do a point of view shot. The mask is slowly descending toward the camera, like what the patient sees. As you can see right now, I'm going to be doing a close-up shots now with the oxygen mask on my face. You don't have to worry about talking anyway, because this particular episode would have no dialogue in it. This is probably the most difficult shots I have to do on this episode. Cut. So I got to go with the storyboard to see what I'm next. I'm going to keep all the non-essential stuff out of the shot. Action. Cut. Extreme close-up. Whoa. Action. Gotta hold the camera very still and close my eyes. Action. Cut. Even more close-ups. Keep the camera steady. Action. And even more extreme close-up. Get this thing to focus. There. Perfect. Cut. Cut. Oh, shoot. Cut. As you can see, I had a little mishap with the enema bag that I used as the IV bag. I thought it picked it up the wrong way and kind of spilled water all over my bedroom floor. But hopefully it'll dry up in time. Oh gosh, what a mess. Alright, and now you've seen how I do my patient videos. And I've just finished shooting, and it's after midnight on 4th of July. Well, actually it's July 5th at the moment. So I hope you had a little bit of fun and maybe learned a little bit of something about shooting your own medical videos, but please don't steal my ideas. And this is basically how I do my most popular series on the Carol Wannabe 71 channel. So I got this really neat idea for an episode, but I'm not going to say anything about it. What direction do I want to take the patient? It depends on what kind of ideas pop into my head and where do I want to take the series. And also I gotta think about continuity and things like that and find a budget to find new props for the show. Well, you never know. I might get off my rear end and make more videos of the patient.